Today, I met a contact that was like muy bien for what I'm trying to do. So the main determining factor for purchasing the machines that we've purchased is RC control. That's it. I want remote controls. That's it. I want remote controls on my machines ASAP pronto, because that, I don't care if it's a zero turn, I don't care if it's a sprayer, I don't care if it's a mulcher, if it's a bobcat. The future of the game is in remote controls, period. You guys will play this back in 10 years from now, and you'll be like, Travis fucking called it. That's what it is. Sorry, but I called it. Remote controls are the future, period, 100%. Today I met a guy who legit builds boats that does exactly that. And I mulched his property. He came out and he was like, dude, this is awesome. And I was like, this is not awesome. I still need people to run them. I need them to run with people that are remote, aka, can we run this through the internet? And he was like, yes, but here's the problems. And he drew my entire system, because this guy's a systems engineer. So he drew my entire problem out, and we learned today that we have a video transmission live time problem. That's it. We have a broadband video transmission problem. Other than that, we're good to go. We're ready to start taking Halo kids and turn them into mulchers, like that. But the point, the reason that I talk about this is because at GIE, if you guys are there at GIE, I couldn't make it up there because M1 freaking blew something in the left turbine. Either way, M1 is down. She's down. She's not going to make the flight to Louisville tonight. But the remote control machines, whether it is zero turns, whether it is, I don't care if it's side by sides, I don't care if it's bobcats, I don't care what it is. But the problem in lawn and landscape, the issue, the main number one is labor. That's it. Like, lawn and landscape is awesome. Lawn and landscape is, you can do hydroponics. You can literally feed your family on this stuff lawn and landscape could do, is not doing. Mind you, it's not doing at all. You guys are mowing lawns, you're fertilizing lawns, you're putting pesticides on lawns. No one's actually building like tubes that produce food on a half acre of land, a quarter acre of land. Everyone wants green lawns. That's what everybody wants, green lawns. I disagree with it, but everybody wants green, nice, lush lawns. I mean, we do it because that's what people want. But ultimately, like, the real thing is like, how come I don't have, like, how come I'm not living in a home that produces for me? Like, how come I work for this home? How come this home doesn't work for me? That's the question. You need to answer that question. You need to solve that problem. This home that I live in should work for me. It should be an asset. Instead, it's a liability. But the point is that a move to the future, slowly progression to the future, is just that. It's automation. It's in the fact that machines will produce for humanity. And so when you're looking at these new machines at GIE, whether you're at GIE, whether you're YouTubing it, whether you're at your local dealers, whether you're just doing processes on lawn and landscape jobs, so you're mowing lawns, you're taking care of bushes, you need to be looking at things that could be autonomous, so done by machines, could potentially do things by machines, or you could play a role in, because that is the long-term future. The long-term future in this industry is labor's a problem. It's always been a problem. It's become more of a problem after the 90s. Labor in the green industry became more of an issue. The issue in our industry is labor. That's the problem. And machines solve labor. And the machines that you need to be looking at are machines that possibly can play a role in the future at reducing labor. So machines in general reduce labor. Machines that can run on RC power like OG-Cat, Boss-Cat, and D-Unit. All three of my machines can run on RC power. If they can run on RC, your pool of hiring, labor is still a problem, but your pool of hiring is worldwide. It's people in Africa, it's people in Europe, it's people in South America, it's people in Des Moines, it's everywhere. You're not tied to your local area. That is the key. So the key in our industry, the takeaway from this scope, is that labor is the #1 issue. Anything that reduces labor in any capacity matters. The smallest thing, the last tidbit I'll leave you, the smallest thing I don't see landscapers do. #1 thing is reduce labor at any point. The tidbit tip, really small tip, that doesn't even make sense. I don't think that does make sense. Roundup. #1 thing. If you're mowing grass and you're trimming with a weed whacker, a fence or a fence line over and over and over, how come you haven't sprayed Roundup on it? How come? Secondly, how come you haven't sprayed Cutlass after you guys, click your stuff, clip it all up? How come you don't spray a growth stimulant or suppressant? These are things that at a conference you need to be looking at. You need to be looking at these things that reduce labor. Anything that reduces labor is what you're looking at. That's it. You are only concerned, if you want to be successful in this industry, with how can I reduce labor. As far as RC to happen, RC can happen right now. With enough cash, RC can happen tomorrow morning. Realistically, when is it going to be accessible for everybody? When is it going to have just an app where everybody buys a machine and can run it through RC? I would say 36 months. I'd say 3 years, for sure. There's some issues. There's some broadband video transmission issues. We're transmitting video now, but we're transmitting at a 5-second delay. That's a problem if you're running machines that could possibly kill people, right? So I think that's the issue, is data transmission. Now what's cool is the green industry is not going to solve that problem, right? Silicon Valley is going to solve that problem. Google's going to solve that problem. Yahoo's going to solve that problem. Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, these people are going to solve data transmission, compressions, all this crazy stuff we don't know anything about. But the point is when they do solve it, when they give us technology like Periscope that lets us do what we're doing right now, how we use it, how we package it, and how we package it with other things is what's going to matter. So if you're able to take RC power and package it with a Wi-Fi router, and then you're able to run your machines remotely through the World Wide Web, anywhere in the world, that's a game changer. The first couple of years, they're going to suck. I mean, there's going to be a lot of fails. I've known this. Anytime I try something new, there's a lot of fails. But the point is long run, if you're a kid like Lucky, you're 14 years old, and you're you're going to be in this game for a while, bro. I hate to tell you, you're going to be in this game for a couple of decades. You're not getting out of this until, if you stick with it, you stick with it. You build up a company, you sell the company, you buy a couple of rental properties, you buy some stocks and bonds, you get yourself out of what I would call the rat race. It's a 20-year play. It just is what it is. I don't know a lot of people that have gotten themselves out of the rat race in less than 20 years. And that's just what it is. There's a lot of get-rich-quicks, this and that. But the truth of the matter is, you're ultimately going to have to grind for 20 years hard to get out of the rat race.